road we are on is open from, I think, May 15th, and then it closes on December 1st. So it is an area sometimes you will find hunters and such, but this time of year, and coming in early in the spring like this, we pretty much had the place to ourselves. No one else was camped back on the road we were on. When you're coming in, you'll come across a really old, dilapidated cabin, and there'll be a box out front of it for the Beartooth Wildlife Refuge. And to camp anywhere, you have to write down where you're going to be and your vehicle number and such. It's just a little tag you fill out. There is no fee per se, but they just want to know who was there and when you were there. And so you fill out the tag and throw it in the box, and you can go camp in your spot. We are up beyond Holter Lake and Wolf Creek, taking a back road to a designated camping area on a wildlife management area. So, should be pretty.
It's very pretty.
We're just heading in to find a good spot to camp.
But it's raining.
Sprinkling.
It's raining.
That's a sprinkle.
Yeah, it is. But
rumor has it that there are large elk herds back in here in this area, and also that there are grizzly bears have moved into this area. So whenever you're going back into an unknown area like this, you kind of find out all you can about it. So big elk herd, lots of deer, and possibly black bear, and possibly grizzly bear. So whenever you're in a group where you're going into a new area, it can be kind of unsettling. You can look at reviews, and some people will say a trail is a 5, and then when you get on it, it's actually a 2. Some people will say a trail is a 2, when you get on it, it's actually a 7. So you never really know when you're exploring. So it's always good to do it in a group and to do it with all the proper equipment, because there were several warning signs along this road that said this road is impassable when wet, and it was a little cloudy, so we were kind of watching the weather. We were pulling a trailer, one of the vehicles was, so there was a little concern about whether or not, if it did rain, would we be able to get the trailer out. But the forecast said it wasn't supposed to rain much, so we went ahead and went. Your side, Catherine.
It's beautiful. I think there could be things like that.
You think so?
Bears and moose and Sasquatch.
Ah, Sasquatch.
Sasquatch. This is like Sasquatch domain, I think.
Could be. The road is really narrow and it winds along all of these beaver ponds and stuff. As it comes out into the clearing, there's more beaver ponds. There's just pond after pond after pond. Lots of frogs. The kids said they saw fish down in the creek. Could be. It's deep enough to have fish, so we continued all the way to the end of the road at the very last campsite on Elkhorn Creek. And our goal was just to get back as far away from people as we could and just sit down and relax. And that's what we did. One of the cool things that happened is when we drove into our campsite, we were met with a double rainbow. It's kind of one of those just magical moments, if you want to call it that, where you were in the right spot at the right time, and for about 10 minutes there was a double rainbow, and it looked like the road was disappearing into this cloud with a rainbow. One of the things we noticed straight away is because it was early spring and kind of chilly out still, there weren't many bugs. Later in the evening, I thought maybe we'd see some mosquitoes and stuff, but we really didn't see any bugs. The next day when it warmed up, we did see some horseflies.
Oh, how high would I climb mountains if the mountains were where you hide? Oh, how far I'd scale the valleys if you graced the other side.
We had a quick rainstorm after we got to camp, so had to cook under here and make dinner under here. But again, this is my poor man's awning in the middle of a field. No trees or anything to tie to, and I forgot my stakes, so I just angled them and put some tension on them, so it's holding just fine. Even in the wind it held. So, but it just cleared up. Storm's going away. We had a lot of fun at our campsite. My daughter had been watching 4 kids from her husband's cousin, and they've been watching them for a month while they live out of the blue Jeep and the Ford that you see here with the camper trailer. Well, with the trailer they've turned into a camper, let's put it that way. And so by the time we came along and joined them, they've already been doing this for about 3 weeks. So the kids are all broke in. They know what the drill is. They got they know how to do everything. They know how to do dishes. They know how to cook. They know all of that. And so we had a great time camping with them, and everybody had a lot of fun. And we had deer popping up in the grass all around the camp, right up next to the campfire, right behind our tents, right across the field. So it was a neat night just to see a lot of deer. This is how Caitlin feeds a bunch of little gremlins out in the woods, huh?
Burnt sandwiches.
Oh, how long have I chased rivers from lonely seas to where they rise against the rush of grace descending from the soil.
The next morning, as we headed out, the weather was pretty nice all night long. Just a couple of little dinky sprinkles, and for the most part, just very gentle wind. It was a good night's sleep. we had to go back out through that same canyon. It's a one-way trip back to the back of the road and one-way trip back out. This is back behind what's known as the Gates of the Mountain Wilderness area, is off to the west of us, and so we're right up next to the wilderness area back at the end here, and it's really a neat spot. Overall, my rating on the difficulty of the trail is that it's a 1 or 2. Now granted, we only had some sprinkling, and if it truly is impassable when wet, this road could easily become a 5 or a 6, or impassable could mean you're sliding off the side of the hill. We have a lot of that slippery peanut butter type clay that just turns like grease in Montana, and it could just be some of that stuff. Especially, you notice the red color in some of the dirt. Those areas are usually pretty slick. But for us, with the vehicles we had, I would say as long as it's dry, you could go in here with a 2-wheel drive pickup.
There's some fawns over here. They ran into there when we showed up. I don't know if you could see them or not. Real little ones. Look like barely bigger than Abby. They're somewhere over there. There's the mom. There's the fawns behind her. See him up there with the mama?
Thank you for watching the video, and as always, if you want to see more content like this, just like and subscribe. The more people that watch, so if you like and share and so on, then that'll help the whole channel have just better content. And thank you for taking the time. There's about 5 more videos coming from this trip probably. Basically, we spent about 5 days traveling across Montana, and a lot of overlanding coming up. One more Jeep trail coming up. That was a pretty good Jeep trail, but the rest of what we did, because we were traveling with a trailer, was a lot of overlanding type stuff, a lot of gravel and dirt roads sort of things, miles and miles of it in beautiful country. So if you like that sort of stuff, stay tuned.